Before the dawn of the internet, communication was slow, deliberate, and tangible. Letters carried the weight of emotion across distances, sometimes taking weeks or months to reach their destination. Telephone calls were precious, connecting voices but not faces, and news traveled through newspapers and television, one broadcast at a time. Then came the internet, a silent revolution that began in glowing screens and humming modems, and soon rewired the very fabric of human connection. What started as a network for scientists and researchers grew into the heartbeat of global communication. Suddenly, distance ceased to matter. A message could cross oceans in seconds, and people could share thoughts, feelings, and memories instantly. The world shrank, not physically, but emotionally and socially, into what we now call a global village. In the early days of chat rooms and forums, people experienced a strange new power, the ability to speak to strangers without borders. Someone in Japan could discuss philosophy with someone in Brazil. A teenager in India could learn coding from a mentor in the United States. The internet erased walls that had stood for centuries. Language barriers softened with translation tools, and ideas flowed freely across nations. Humanity was learning to talk again, but in a new language, the language of instant connection. Email replaced envelopes, bringing business and personal messages to inboxes within seconds. The slow rhythm of life quickened, and the world began to breathe in sync with the pulse of digital communication. Then came the era of social media, a phenomenon that didn't just change how we talked, but who we became. Platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and later TikTok turned every individual into both a storyteller and an audience. Suddenly, ordinary people could share their lives with thousands, even millions. Birthdays, heartbreaks, victories, and opinions flowed endlessly in digital streams. The phrase "going viral" entered our vocabulary, symbolizing the speed at which ideas, trends, and emotions could spread across the planet. The internet had turned human communication into a collective experience, where laughter, outrage, and inspiration could ripple across the planet in minutes. But with this evolution came a paradox. While the internet connected us like never before, it also began to divide us. The same platforms that united families across continents also created echo chambers, where people heard only what they wanted to hear. Online anonymity allowed kindness and cruelty to coexist in the same space. Trolls, misinformation, and cyberbullying emerged as shadows of digital freedom. The world's greatest tool for unity was also breeding misunderstanding and polarization. A tweet could start a movement or destroy a reputation. The power of communication had grown immense and unpredictable. At the same time, human relationships transformed. Dating apps replaced chance encounters. Emojis replaced facial expressions, and video calls replaced long-distance letters. A single seen or typing notification could stir emotions once reserved for handwritten words. Families scattered across the world could now share dinner through screens. Grandparents could watch grandchildren grow in real time, and friends could maintain connections across time zones. Yet, some began to feel lonelier despite constant connection. Conversations became shorter, attention spans thinner, and silence harder to find. The internet made us omnipresent, but also restless. On a larger scale, communication itself democratized. Voices once silenced by geography, politics, or poverty found their way online. Movements like #MeToo and #BlackLivesMatter proved that one person's voice, amplified by millions, could challenge systems of power. Information became the new currency of influence, and digital storytelling became a form of resistance, art, and survival. A teenager with a smartphone could document history, a blogger could challenge governments, and a live stream could change laws. The gatekeepers of traditional media lost their monopoly, and every user became a potential journalist.
Truth, however, became harder to define in a sea of voices. As technology advanced further, communication evolved beyond text and images. Artificial intelligence began predicting what we'd say before we typed it. Virtual reality allowed people to meet in simulated worlds, shaking hands through headsets. Algorithms learned our preferences, shaping the content we saw, the people we met, and even the opinions we formed. The internet was no longer just a tool. It became an extension of human thought. In this new age, privacy turned into a luxury, and data became a mirror of our digital selves. Every message sent, every like, every search added to the endless archive of human expression. Yet, despite all the complexities and contradictions, the internet remains one of humanity's greatest revolutions. It has turned a world once divided by geography, language, and class into a single, pulsating network of shared experience. From the laughter of viral memes to the heartbreak of global tragedies, we now feel the pulse of humanity together in real time. The internet didn't just change communication, it redefined what it means to be connected. Now, as we step into an age of artificial intelligence, quantum networks, and digital consciousness, one question lingers. Has the internet brought us closer, or has it made our connections more fragile? Perhaps the answer lies somewhere in between. For all its flaws and wonders, the internet has given humanity a mirror, a reflection of who we are when the whole world is listening. And as long as we keep speaking, sharing, and reaching out through this invisible web, the story of how the internet changed communication will continue to unfold, one message, one click, one heartbeat at a time.